Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Fears video with Fatphil, and today we're going to be talking about the Lightspeed bundles and kind of analyzing their value, whether or not I think they're good for the game, the impact they're going to have down the road, and kind of the way I need you to be looking at these packs, particularly if you're thinking, hey, which one suits my account best, what are the factors you should be considering. So let me know your thoughts down below. Hopefully this helps you in understanding whether or not these are good purchases, how it's going to change you, and even if it changes what you should be currently working on. Because the big thing we've learned with these Lightspeed bundles, they don't include Zetas. So you've got to commit that when you're purchasing this bundle, you've either got to recognize that you got to recognize either A, you don't have the Zetas to equip to these characters right now, or B, hey, I do have some Zetas, but they need to go into these guys rather than whatever else you were thinking. So just kind of get in that mindset. I want you to think through those things. So please like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Let's give a massive shout out to all those who are on the council. You may not yet be granted the rank of Jedi Master, but you still have a very special place in my heart. And of course, to those in the Wampa and Jedi Master tier list, thank you guys for your continued support. Thank you for putting your faith in me to bring good content to this game. Let's get to our intro and let's talk about these Lightspeed bundles. Alright guys, so here we go. With these Lightspeed bundles, before I show you the pictures, kind of go into them, I want you to remember us, kind of saying, hey, this is the way to look. Number one, take into account your current investment. What do you actually have invested in that faction? For myself, I've got Gear 12 Geonosians, so they don't really help me that much, right? Like, I don't get really any use out of these guys. Them at Relic 3, also not a lot of use, so I don't feel like I'm gaining a lot from this. I'm not gaining something, like if I had level 1 Geos, the Geonosian pack would look amazing. But because I'm already here, I've gotten my use out of them, the pilots are good enough, I don't think the Relic 3s provides enough opportunity for me to really get a lot of, good, solid benefit. Next, think about, those Ewok and Nightsister bundles. Number one, there's levels to it that, hey, the Nightsisters are very Zeta intensive. You also want Marin in that team. So there's a lot of Zetas that are kind of necessary for that squad to really get the use out of it that you need. So there's a lot more to equip there compared to where I'd say with the Ewoks, you only need the one Zeta, right? It's kind of like a mixed bag where the Ewoks without Nisa are still decent, but with Nisa, they definitely get, there's levels to it. They get a lot better. But I think similar to the Rebel bundle, where you got the Phoenix but not Captain Rex, you need to view these two bundles for the Nightsisters and the Ewoks like that one, where, hey, Marin and Nisa are basically required farms. And then finally, guys, the most important thing with Lightspeed bundles is recognize the time savings. When you're looking at all of these different things, ask yourself the biggest question here. How much time am I saving? Think about one of my favorite movies is Interstellar. And in Interstellar, they talk about, it deals with space and time, and it can get confusing if you don't understand some of those paradoxes and some of those theories of relativity and stuff. But one of the coolest parts of it, in my opinion, is when Anne Hathaway's character and Matthew McConaughey and them, they're all having this discussion, and they're like, well, we need to be thinking of time as a resource, and just like we do fuel and oxygen. And I thought that was so important even to take into Galaxy of Heroes, that time is a resource as much as gear, energy, crystals, all of that stuff. So with that, we're going to pop over to the Discord to show you guys the pictures of these bundles and kind of which ones I think have the best value. So let's pop over here and let's pull up the Discord. Where is it at? Of course, it doesn't want to load right now because, like, why would it? That's just so much to ask for it. There we go. All right. So number one, the first pack here is this Separatist bundle. Now, what I like about this bundle is it's the only one of these that were released that there's Relic 5s. So that is a lot of Relic 5s. You look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know that's a really weird way to count that, but 8 characters there. So from just looking at the blue signal data, which is the most expensive part of that, you're looking at what? 120 blue signal data, and then obviously significantly more white and green. So there is some really good value here from a signal data perspective. That's where I think this pack gets more of its value from. I would say that the $25 price point is a bit steep for not including General Grievous in here, because I think the droids without Grievous don't have quite as much value. So the $25 is a bit steep, but it is Relic 5s, and it's the only one of the bundles that does that. So I can see where they're putting this price tag on it. But in my opinion, I'd say this is probably more towards the bottom of value. Give me 1 second. My dog is like screaming at me. Get in the house. All right, we back. Next, we have the Nightsister bundle. So this one, it's the same number of characters. They're only at Relic 3, but it's $15. So it's less expensive, but less relics. The thing I'll say with this bundle and compare it to, say, the Separatist bundle is that the Nightsister bundle, there's a lot more fluff here in that, like, realistically, at the end of the game, only 4 of these characters that are listed in this bundle will be used, right? Talzin, Daka, Zombie, and Asajj. Because you're going to put Marin in this team, and more often than not, you want those 4 core Nightsisters, and the other ones kind of ride your bench. So don't get distracted by, oh, it's the same number of characters as the Separatist bundle, but it's less expensive even though it's only Relic 3. You're getting, like, I use every single one of these characters right now. Like, Asajj is maybe the only one I don't use because of Nightsisters, but, like, I use Jango, I use the droids, I use, these Separatists with, Wattam, or with, Trench. Like, you're getting far more useful characters here than you are here. So I want you to take that with a grain of salt when looking at the Nightsister one. While it looks really lucrative, there's a couple of characters that will just completely ride your bench. We're going to skip this one for a bit. Next is the Geonosian bundle. $15, the same price point as the Nightsister bundle, and you're getting less characters, so it doesn't look like it's as good of a value. One thing to note here, this Geonosian faction needs 1 Zeta. You need 1 Zeta, and you've got a really good team with these guys, right? And that's the unique on GBA. The other thing with the Geos, right, is that these guys here have 3 pilots between Spy, Soldier, and Sunfax. So if you have those ships already built, which most people do, you now have 3 Relic pilots for that Separatist fleet, which is really, really solid, and they have very good ships. So the grain of salt I want you to think about is while you're getting less characters here, it take less investment to make them really good, but also pilot-wise, you're getting some pilots here that you're not getting in, the other bundle. Then we get the Ewok bundle for C-3PO. This one is kind of sneakily good. So it's only 6 characters at Relic 3, so again, there's going to be 2 characters here who ride your bench because eventually when you get Nisa, she's going to replace one of them. The one thing here that, while these bundles are, I'll say this, maybe I'll go back to one for a second, but remember, Chirpa and Wicket are both requirements for Leia Organa, so that does kind of help you with some Galactic Legend farming along the way, right? And while I mention that, I'd be amiss if I didn't mention that Newt Gunray is a requirement for Lord Vader, Dooku is a requirement for Vader and for Sith Eternal, Jango and Magna Guard are both requirements for Jedi Master Kenobi. So this bundle does help you make some progress towards some of those, those 2 Galactic Legends there. But the Piece de Resistance, the best bundle here, it's the most expensive, but it's the General Skywalker bundle. It is $50. It is expensive, but there's a lot of reasons why it warrants this price point. So you're getting Asajj, you're getting your Separatist droids, which you need for the final phase of General Skywalker. I think that's fine, right? That's, okay, fine. Only at Relic 3, so not quite as high as the Separatist bundle, but still, I think, a solid investment there. But then you're going to get Snips, Jedi Knight Anakin, 5s, Clone Sergeant, Plo Koon. You're going to get those guys. They all have very good ships. They're all pilots. And, you think 5s is a character that you need for the 501st with General Skywalker. So there's a big plus. You also get General Kenobi, which saves you a ton of Carbonis, but also you don't have to 7-star him from any of that raid currency. So if you don't have General Kenobi, this could be really solid because all that raid currency that you would have spent on him can go towards gear. But the big character here we need to talk about is Big Shock. Big Shock this is unreal value in here. All the rest of these characters in all the rest of the bundles that I showed you are low Kyrotech investments, right? They take 100 on the finisher piece and they're done. Shock T has 500 total Kyrotech between her finisher and her gear levels. To put that in perspective, the Geonosian bundle is 500 Kyrotech. There's 500 Kyrotech between the Geonosians, all from their finisher pieces. Shock T by herself is 500. So the immense value here is crazy. On top of that, you're also getting Magna Guard, who is a requirement for Jedi Master Kenobi, Shaak Ti, a requirement for Jedi Master Kenobi, Clone Sergeant, a requirement for Kenobi, and General Kenobi, also requirements. Now, they're not quite at the relic levels that you need to have them at, but you're at least getting them to relics. You're at least getting over that hump and getting ready for that. And then Snips is in that Jedi Master Kenobi team all the time, so good progress there as well. But we're only halfway done with that pack because, as many of you know, it also has the Galactic Republic ships to get you through the General Skywalker mission and the relic and a 7-star negotiator. This bundle, in my opinion, is the best thing they've sold. I think this supersedes any other bundle. I don't think there's one other bundle that has the value that this does. Like, it, guys, I don't, just let this sink in of how much value is here. Just in terms of ship credits, it's about, call it, say, I don't know, between level 85 and all the stars, say it's 7 million credits per ship, just for the sake of argument, for the crewed ships here. That's 35 million ship credits right here alone. For the negotiator to be level 85, 7-star, you're probably looking at another 14 million credits there. So almost 50 million ship credits just given to you through buying this pack. That is insane. And the time it's saving you, not only of having to farm these guys, but think for the negotiator itself. You've not only got to get into a guild to earn Guild Event Currency 2, you then have to buy all of the shards with that Guild Event Currency 2 to unlock the 7-star version of this ship. This bundle in many ways is amazing for the game, and in many ways I think it is so damaging. Like, we already have enough problems with fleet shards for a lot of newer players where they're just dominated by the Resistance and Rebel, fleets that they've got from these Lightspeed bundles. Now, you're giving the an A-tier fleet with relic pilots at 7-star. Like, this is absolutely going to crush in Fleet Arena for so many times. Like, I think that anybody buying this in Fleet Arena is almost guaranteed to have one of the best fleets until people start getting executors, right? I cannot stress how much value is in this pack, because not only are you getting it for, like, you're saying, oh, the $50, like, this is really good, but let me just show you something else. Let's flip back over to the game here. When you're in the game and you think about how much you're going to have to spend on the negotiator, right? So if we go here, let's go to guild events. So the negotiator for 5 shards, right? For 5 shards, it's 1,350 get to. And I'm just going to pull up my calculator. You guys won't be able to see the math here, but I promise you it's legit. So 1,350 divided by 5 is 270 per shard, right? So 270 get 1 or get 2 per shard. If we go down to Kyrotech, right? So we go down to Kyrotech, it's 975 divided by 15 is 65 per shard, right? So you need to buy 330 shards of the negotiator, right, at a cost of 270 get 2 per piece. So you're looking at 89,000 guild event currency 2. If you divide that by the cost for Kyrotech, you're going to get 1,300 Kyrotech. So that pack, right, this pack, not only does it give you a negotiator at 7-star, but you could also think of it as getting you 1,300 1,300 Kyrotech from saving all of that guild event currency. So you think of the time that is saving you, it's insane. And this pack, in my opinion, is one that I feel, when I look at like the bundles as a whole and I think about the way that, these ones look comparative to some of the other ones that we've gotten in the past, I feel these are a lot better and a lot more centered around players who are in the earlier stages of the game. When I go back and I think about, the Rey and Kylo bundles, one of the big things that I think a lot of you are still experiencing is you still haven't really caught up from that. You still haven't even made it up. Whereas I remember I bought the Resistance Lightspeed bundle. Right, so I bought this one. I then went and actually geared these 4 characters. So I geared these guys. And then I was able to start Rey that day. So I got Rey, like, almost immediately. As soon as I could, I got Rey. And she was geared, right? Done, dusted. There's some of you who still haven't gotten your GL from those Lightspeed bundles. Whereas, day one, that helped me and I think I was like crossed the 10 million threshold at that point. So the value that I got out of that Lightspeed bundle was insane. Whereas I think these ones are far more geared towards players who are in those earlier stages, because almost like my guild, just for the sake of argument, like I know in my last guild, a lot of people bought the Kylo one. A lot of people bought the Rey one. I can't think of a single person in my guild who's going to buy this Negotiator bundle, because we all have it. I doubt anybody would buy the Geonosian or Ewok bundle. I think the one I'd maybe see people buying is the Nightsister bundle, because there's some pretty good value in there. It's a faction that a lot of us would love, but even then, I don't know how many people would actually buy these bundles at my level, simply because you either have most of this stuff already, you have all of it already, most of it already, or it's one of those where, like my Geonosians, I'm most of the way there. They're not a big priority. So I think these are really good. I think they are going to help the player base, but I definitely think from a perspective of, hey, which ones are worth the most? Absolutely Negotiator. And then I think it really comes down to, I think the Geonosian one, to me, honestly, really solid of value because of the minimal investment required to make them really, really good. And then even this Padme bundle, I like it and I don't like it at the same time. I think if you purchase the General Skywalker bundle, I would avoid this one. All right, I'd avoid this one if you purchase the General Skywalker bundle, simply because there's too much overlap, right? You're going to get 1, 2, 3 different characters. Yes, you do get some additional relics here, but I don't know that that's all worth $25. So that's the end of the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Again, like, subscribe, comment. I love you all. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.